subtracting integers. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what we did yesterday, okay? We're going to talk about what we did yesterday, go through adding integers. So let's talk about this one right here. 8 plus a negative 3. 8 plus a negative 3. Now, before we even maybe talk about the answer, there's three ways that we talked about how you can answer these yesterday. We talked about the number line, we talked about cats and dogs, we talked about tiles. Now, today, subtracting, you can use the same three ways. Okay? Landon? Sure. What's the answer? 5. Okay? Now, if you're not sure, maybe you said 11, maybe you said negative 5, but think of it this way. If you think of it this way, you have 3 cats and 8 dogs. How many zero pairs can you only really make? Yeah. You can only make 3 zero pairs. So how many dogs are you going to have left over? How many red tiles? 5, right? So that's how you can think about it in your head. Let's go to this one. Negative 44 plus 1. Matt? Positive or negative? Negative 43. Don't forget. Don't forget your negatives. What about this one? Negative 20 plus 24. Nolan? 4. It is 4. You can only make 20 zero pairs. You're going to have some left here, so positive 4. Let's talk about this guy. Negative 12 plus negative 5. Isabella? No? Good try. Not negative 7. It's not that either. It is negative 17. Because if you think about it, think of your tiles or your cats and your dogs. You're going to have 12 red tiles on your desk. You're going to add 5 more red tiles on your desk. You don't have any zero pairs, so you have a total of 17 red tiles on your desk. Yep, 17. Yep.
So if the first number is bigger and it has a negative sign, that means it's going to be bigger.
Really, you can think about it. It doesn't always have to be the first number. If the second number is, if the negative number is bigger than the first number, your answer is going to be negative. If the positive number is bigger than the other one, it's going to be positive. Yep, yep, because that's how many like you have left over. Yep, Owen.
Just a question. So
Sure.
negative 11 minus negative 10, what would it be?
We're going to talk about how to find that out today. Okay, that's today's thing. What I want you to do though is I want you in your notebook to do these for me. Because it's adding, yes, but if you can add, you can do today's lesson. So we have to make sure that we have this stuff mastered before we even go on. So why don't you try these in your notebook for me? Just quickly. You can just jot down the answer if you want, or if you want to write the whole thing out, you can write the whole thing. It's up to you. But just see if you can remember by yourself. We talked about them together. Now see if you can do it by yourself. If you're not sure, take your best guess. Think of your tiles on your desk or your cats and your dogs. Or how many zero pairs you can possibly make. Sometimes you can't make a zero pair. All right, let's talk about them quick. Whether you're done or close to done. A lot of times when I do them, I always go down the row. Some people go across this way, but I always go down. So let's talk about this one first. 9 plus negative 10. 9 plus negative 10. Mason? Negative 1 is correct. Yep, you can make 9 zero pairs. You got 1 left over. Let's talk about this one. 23 plus negative 5. Matt? 18. It is 18. You're correct. Let's talk about this guy. Negative 13 plus 13. Isabella? 0. It's adding the opposites, right? They're all going to cancel each other out. 2 plus negative 8. Landon? Negative 6 is correct. 19 plus 12. Nolan? 31. And last but not least, you're on the bottom. Negative 20 plus negative 34. Matt? negative 54. Good job. Nice work. So do we feel okay with adding integers? Whether you do it in your head or you got to think about your cats and your dogs or your tiles or zero pairs or whatever, as long as you got something correct in your head, I'm fine with it. So today we're going to talk about subtraction. Now, I'm not, you know red is negative, you know yellow is positive. I didn't give these to you on your desk today, okay, but we're going to talk about some of the stuff up here. Now, the reason why I'm going to show you in tiles first is so you understand the next step that I'm going to show you, okay? And I'm not going to lie, the first time you're going to be confused. That's fine. We're going to keep practicing, you're going to get it. So, this is the first problem I'm going to do. So if you want to write it down, you can write it down. If you want to watch, you can watch the first time. I'm fine with it. So, if I'm going to subtract this, this says 2 minus negative 3. What do I need to put on my board first? What do you think I need to put down here in tiles, Matt?
I need to put 2 yellows.
2 yellows. That's what I'm going to start with. Okay? Now, addition and subtraction are a little different. Remember, addition, we're putting things together all the time. Subtraction, we're taking away. So if I start with 2 yellows, what does it tell me to take away now? Yeah. 3 reds. Do I have 3 reds I can take away? That's a problem. I do not have any reds I can take away in this problem. But there's a way that I can put reds into my problem without it changing anything. Now, there was a vocabulary word we talked about yesterday, and I think it was in the tiles portion. And we talked about it already. I've been saying it already. What is it called when a yellow and a red are together? What is it called, though? What's the vocab word? Zero pair? Is that what you're going to say? Zero pair. Okay. A zero pair, what happens when you have a red and a yellow together? What technically happens? They cancel each other out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some zero pairs to this. Now watch. Let me just add 1. Here's a zero pair. Did it change the problem? No, because what does this technically mean? It's like it's not there, right? But I still have what? I still have 2. Can I add another zero pair? Can I add as many zero pairs as I want? Sure. Okay, let's add another zero pair. Anything changed yet? Still canceled like it's not there? Still got my 2. Let's add another zero pair. Can I stop adding zero pairs? When can I stop adding zero pairs? There's a time, though, that I know when I can stop, because otherwise I could add like a million on here. Let's stop right now. Let's just look at my board. What is it telling me to take away again? It's telling me to take away negative 3. Do I have negative 3 on my board? Okay, let's take them away. Let's take the 3s away. What do I have left on my board? 5 yellows. So guess what my answer is? Positive 5. Yep, positive 5. Okay, we're going to do another one. I told you you'd be confused the first time, did I not? We're going to do another one. Ready? I know you're all excited. Don't act so excited, everybody. Knock it off. Come back. Where are you? There we go. Okay, let's do this one again. I have negative 1 minus negative 4. What do I have to start with on my board? What?
5 red.
No. 1 red. I'm looking at the first one all the time. 1 red. What's it telling me to take away? 4 of them. Do I have 4 I can take away? So what am I going to start adding to my problem to not change it, but to put something there to help myself out later? 0 pairs, 0 pairs. Okay, so let's add a 0 pair. Do I have 4 I can take away now? Okay, let's add another one. Do I have 4 I can take away now? Nope. Do I have 4 I can take away now? Yes, I have 4 reds I can take away. See you later, see you later, see you later. What do I have left? 3 is my answer. Yes? Okay, so some of you are probably starting to see like, oh, 1 and 4, but the answer's 3. Like, how do I get there? What do I got to do? Let's do one more. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Okay. How about 2 minus, we'll do, 2 minus negative 3. We did that one already? Oh my gosh, we did that one already. What's happening to me? What's happening to me? 4 minus negative 5. Okay? What am I going to start with on my board? 4 yellows, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do I have 4 I can take away? Or 5 reds I can take away, I'm sorry. So how many 0 pairs do I need to add to get there? Okay, so let's add 5. 1, do I have enough? 2, 3, 4. Oh no, we're going to add 1, and we're going to pretend this is my yellow one. Okay, you guys see what I mean there? Okay. Do I have 5 I can take away now? Okay, let's get them away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many yellows do I have left on my board? 9. 9. But you gotta remember my green with yellow. Okay, gotta remember my green yellow. Okay, so is anybody starting to see anything that's going on? Like a little bit, you can kind of see that you have a 4 and a 5, but how do you get 9? You maybe saw before you had a 1 and a 4, but how did you get 3? Like you're starting to figure out, like, okay, there's something that's happening here. You guys kind of seeing that a little bit? Like there's something going on. You want to do one more and see it again? Okay. I'll do easy numbers so we can, so I have enough. What do I just have? 7 of these? 8. Okay, so let's do negative 5 minus 2. How many am I going to start with? Yep. 5 reds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have yellows to take away? I'm going to put what there? Some 0 pairs, right? With the 0 pairs, that's my keyword. You got to remember 0 pair. You can't just put stuff there. You got to put something there with it. So if there's 2 0 pairs, because now I have 2 red or yellows I can take away. So let's get rid of them. What do I have left? Negative 7 this time. There is patterns because you can see I have a 5 and a 2 and my answer is 7, but I don't know, I don't get how I get that negative 7, okay? Here's the thing. There's a simple rule to this. Now, I'm not going to make you use tiles for your homework today because you're never going to have like 35 tiles in your pocket you can just like use on a random, on a random day, okay? So there's actually a rule to this, okay? And there's a way to do it on your paper to make it easier for yourself so you don't have to see the tiles. But there's a reason why I did show you the tiles, and I'll show you in a second. So what you need to write down is this up here. There's a rule to subtracting when you have a negative number along with it. So if I were you, I'd write this down, I'd circle it, I'd highlight it, I'd star it or something, because this is the most important thing of today. This is the most important thing of today. And notice I have KCC in the back. Write that down also, because that's important too. Subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. Okay, so they mean something. K means keep. C means change. Yep, C means change no matter what, no matter how many there are. Keep, change, change. It's like the biggest rule, and you have to remember it, and so that's why I said circle it, highlight it, star it, like circle 35 times. I don't care what you do, but like this is like the biggest thing for today, and probably even this whole chapter, probably. So let me show you how this works, okay, on paper. Here's the one we're going to do. Negative 8 minus negative 6. Now, if I was going to do this in tiles, you know I would start with reds on the board, but we're not going to do it in tiles. So this is how this works. I like to box the first one, okay, and put a K below it. Then I'm going to box the sign in the middle, and I'm going to put a C below it. And then I'm going to box the last one, and I'm going to put a C below it. Now this is what happens. Since there's a K here, I'm going to keep that number. I'm not changing anything. Since there's a C underneath the sign, I'm going to change that to a plus sign. Like that stays, this is changed. Then what do you think happens to the next one? That negative 6 is going to be changed to a what? Just a positive 6. Now when I change these two things, that's like me adding in those 0 pairs. That's like me adding in those 0 pairs. That's why I'm adding in the 0 pair, the other half of the 0 pair. That's like me putting that 0 pair in. Okay, so that's why I had to show you that, so you understand why I'm changing those things. I'm a big advocate of knowing like why you do things. I don't like when people say, oh, just use this formula, it works. I like to know why it happens. Mason. So it's going to be a negative 2. Yep, that's your answer. That's your answer. So like if we go back, I'm just going to go back a second. Can I do that on my slide? I'm going to go back to one we did before, and I'm going to go back to the first one we did. Actually, we could even do this one if we wanted to. Let me get some of these away, though. We knew it was negative 7 after we did it. We're going to keep this. We're going to change this. Keep, change, change. We're going to change this to negative 2. Guess what? Negative 7. Ah! Yeah. Crazy, I know. But it's easy if you follow the rule. If you don't follow the rule correctly, it's not easy. Let's do another one. Let's do some more. I'm not even going to worry about this dogs and cat stuff right now. I'm just going to use like this one. Okay, so here's your next one. Make sure you write yourself an example. Yep, hold on. Sure. What do you want me to go back to? Sure. No, it was working. Now it's not. You bet. I don't think it likes me. Let me know when you're done. Good? Okay. I won't do it. Out of mind of its own. All right, let's go to this. Let's try this one. Put it in your notebook. We're going to do it together again as a group. Pretty soon I'll give you some you can do yourself. Okay? Some of you are going to be lazy and not do any KCC stuff underneath. You're just going to think you know what to change. But guess what? That's going to catch up with you, and you're going to get screwed up on some things. Especially in certain problems, you're going to get screwed up. Yep. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. Do you see some of those in your homework or something? What's that? We can do an example. Let's figure these out first. Okay? All right, so first one, what am I going to do with it? Keep it. Second sign, I'm going to change. I'm going to change this. And then I'm going to rewrite it. 5 plus 3, 8. So basically, any subtraction problem, we can change to addition by just following KCC. Anyone we can change. Okay, let's try this one. Try this one. Negative 4 minus negative 10. Try it yourself if you want to try it. Try it yourself if you want to try it. If you like marking it out, what you have to do first, second, third, KCC, do it. Like don't, because otherwise some people are going to get screwed up. And I'll show you the problems people usually get screwed up on. Nolan, you got a question? Got the answer? 1 second. Let's let everybody work. I will call on you. Just let's let everybody work. See if they get it. All right, before you tell me the answer, Nolan, tell me what to do first.
Okay, so you keep the 4.
Okay?
Change the subtractions onto a plus.
Mm-hmm.
And then you change negative 21.
And what did you get?
6.
6 is the correct answer. 6 is the correct answer. Negative 4 plus 10? Is that what you had on your paper? Okay. Okay, because you maybe forgot your negative, did you change your 4? Okay, so think of your cats and your dogs, or how many 0 pairs you can make. How many 0 pairs can I make? I can only make 4, right? I'm going to have some left over here. I'm going to have 6 left over. So then you got to, like when you get to this part, you got to go back to what you remember from yesterday. Okay? Nolan?
Could you change
No, you always have to change the first one. Always have to change the first one.
So keep the first one.
I mean, always keep the first one. Thank you.
I
My
was
bad.
like,
I'm sorry. You always keep the first one. You always keep the first one. That's why it's called KCC. Okay, another one people sometimes get incorrect or get wrong is when they show up like this. -6 minus 4. -6 minus 4. So what's this going to change to? Or keep, it's going to change, keep to 6. Ah. This is going to change. This is going to change. The reason why people get these confused is because sometimes they forget to change this to a negative for some reason, unknown reason. That is the the hardest part. That's going to change, and this is going to change to a what? A -4. Yep. So it's -10 then. So how are we feeling? Better? Better? But do you see why I had to show you the title? So you could see why we changed this. That's like us adding in those 0 pairs. If we didn't do that, then you wouldn't have no idea why I'm doing this. It's just for fun. Yeah. Okay, well that's fine. Whatever you took from today, if you can remember this only, fine. Okay? What questions do you have for me? Nolan, you're not done yet. We got a few things we got to go over yet.
KCC on every single one of the problems.
You can use KCC. You want me to write it down for you so you can have it in your notebook? You can use KCC when 1, you're subtracting, and 2, when there's a negative in the problem. The only exception is when you have a problem that looks like this. You can use KCC when you are taking a smaller number minus a bigger number, and it would look like this. Then. Okay, that's the only exception. The only exception is when you're taking a smaller number minus a bigger number. You can use it then too. It should be -4. -4. Yep. This is the only times. So like if you have an addition problem, are you going to use KCC? No, because you already have it as an addition problem. Like the point of using keep, change, change is to make everything addition for yourself. So if it's already addition, there's no reason to use it because it's already there for you. Okay. I do have to show you a story problem, and it looks like this. Worked before. Okay, so I made these numbers up, by the way. These aren't like legit numbers from the social studies book, but the highest elevation in the U.S. is 2,893 feet above sea level. The lowest is -452 feet below sea level. What's the range? Basically, it's asking what the difference is. What's the difference mean? What's the difference mean? Subtraction. Okay, so how would this look? This would look something like this. 2,893 minus what? -452. Yep. And a lot of times when people do subtraction, they automatically do it like this. You know what I mean? Do not do it like that. Because if you put it in a line, it's way easier to use keep, change, change than to do something like this. Then it doesn't subtract right. Because what are you really technically doing in this problem? You're adding. Because if I keep this, and change this, and I change this, this is what it is.
but can you do it under each other?
Yes, when you're adding, you can put them on top of each other. That's fine. But when you write it out subtraction-wise first, you probably want to write it out like this so you can see what's happening. If what you have to change and what you have to keep and things like that. So there's quite a few in your homework that are like this today. If you want to write this down as an example, you're more than welcome to do that. But most of them in there have something to do with subtraction because that's what we're doing today. You just have to know what you're subtracting and using KCC. So how are we feeling? Okay? Let me show you one with 3. I didn't do this with the other class. I'm kind of mad at myself. But let's say we have this. Okay, let's say this is a problem you have. It's -3 minus 2 minus 4. So that's this. Do this first. Okay, keep, change, change. Do that first. So that's going to be a -5. right? Then bring this down. And you might have to do keep, change, change again. Do you have to do that? Yep, we're going to keep that. We're going to change that, and we're going to change that. So do it in steps. Do it in steps. Do the first two first, get your answer. This is my first two, got my answer. What's that? That's because I changed it. This was keep, change, change. That's what I keep, change, change was here. I changed it to my plus. Well, -3 plus -2 would have been, here, let me just redo it for you. Let me just redo. Yep, let me redo. Keep, change, change. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. My answer is -5. Yep, just like regular keep, change, change. Yep. And then once I get my answer, I'm going to bring this part down, and I'm going to -4. And I have to keep, change, change again. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to change this. And I'm going to change this. And it'll be -9 in the end. There's only a few of those in your homework, but they're kind of the challenge problems. My plan is to go over those tomorrow. Try your best on them. So, questions? So what are you going to use today? What rule? For everything. For everything.